The village of Elmswood was thirsty. The sun, a blazing eye in the sky, had baked the earth dry and cracked. The river, once a lively vein coursing through the heart of the village, was now a scar of dust and stones. Crops withered, animals grew gaunt. Hope, like the water, seemed to evaporate under the relentless heat. The villagers, their faces etched with worry, looked to the sky each day, praying for rain. Their prayers, it seemed, went unanswered. The drought tightened its grip, threatening to squeeze the life out of Elmswood. The elders spoke of past droughts. Tales whispered around flickering oil lamps, but none were as severe, as relentless as this. Thomas, a man of the earth, felt the pain of the drought keenly. His fields, once lush and green, were now a sea of brown, brittle stalks. His heart ached for his neighbors, for the children with hollow eyes and empty bellies. Yet, amidst the despair, Thomas clung to hope. He tended his remaining crops with unwavering care, nurturing them with the last dregs of water from his well. He shared what little he had with his neighbors, his weathered face etched with concern, his calloused hands offering comfort and sustenance. He knew that despair was as contagious as any disease, and he refused to let it take root in Elmswood. He believed, with a farmer's unwavering faith, that the rains would come. Word of Elmswood's plight reached King Theodore, a ruler known for his wisdom and compassion. His heart went out to the villagers, for he understood that the land was the lifeblood of his kingdom. He summoned his advisors, their faces grim, their voices heavy with concern. Some spoke of sending grain, of offering financial aid. Others, their voices laced with despair, believed that Elmswood was beyond saving, that the drought had condemned the village. Theodore listened, his brow furrowed in thought. He knew he had to act, but he wanted to offer more than just temporary relief. He yearned to rekindle hope in the hearts of the people of Elmswood. Theodore, disguised as a weary traveler, journeyed to Elmswood. He wanted to see the situation firsthand, to speak to the villagers, to understand their plight. As he entered the village, he was struck by the silence. Gone was the laughter of children, the bustle of the marketplace, the sounds of life that usually filled a village. He saw the despair in the eyes of the people, the way they moved slowly, their shoulders slumped with defeat. He stopped at a well, hoping for a drink of water. A young mother, her face drawn, shook her head. "The well is dry, traveler," she whispered, her voice raspy with thirst. "There is no water to be found." Theodore, his throat parched, noticed a small patch of green amidst the brown desolation. It was a field of corn, its stalks green and strong, its leaves rustling softly in the dry wind. A lone figure worked in the field, his movements measured and careful. It was Thomas, his brow damp with sweat, his hands calloused but gentle as he tended to his crops. Theodore approached him, drawn by a hope he could barely articulate. "Kind sir," he said, his voice hoarse, "could you spare a drink of water for a weary traveler?" Thomas, without hesitation, offered him a cup of cool water. "Drink, traveler," he said, his voice rough but kind. "It is a precious gift we have, this water, especially now." Theodore, his thirst quenched, looked at Thomas in amazement. "How is it," he asked, "that your crops thrive while the rest of the village withers?" Thomas smiled, the lines around his eyes crinkling. "This well," he said, gesturing to a nearby well, "is old and deep. It has never run dry, even in the worst of times." Theodore, his curiosity piqued, asked, "Why then do you not share this water with your neighbors? Their crops die, their children thirst." Thomas's smile faded. "This well," he said softly, "is all that stands between my family and starvation. To share it would mean losing everything, watching my own children go hungry." Theodore, deeply moved by the farmer's plight, revealed his true identity. He removed his cloak, revealing the royal seal on his tunic. Thomas, stunned, fell to his knees. "Rise, good man," said Theodore, gently helping him up. He explained he had come to Elmswood to understand the true impact of the drought, to find a way to help his people. As if in answer to his plea, the sky, moments before a brilliant blue, darkened with clouds. The wind picked up, swirling the dust into miniature tornadoes. And then it began. Large, heavy drops of rain, the first in months, splattered onto the parched earth. News of the king's visit and the miraculous rain spread through Elmswood like wildfire. People poured out of their homes, their faces upturned to the sky, their lips parted in wonder and relief as they drank in the life-giving rain. The drought, it seemed, had broken. The village, moments before shrouded in silence, erupted in cheers and laughter. Theodore, standing in the rain-soaked street, watched as joy replaced despair. He knew, with a certainty that went beyond logic, that the rain was more than just a meteorological event. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. In the aftermath of the drought, Elmswood thrived. The king, inspired by Thomas's quiet generosity, ordered the construction of a new well, one that would provide water for the entire village. The village elders, their eyes shining with gratitude, declared Thomas a hero. But Thomas, ever humble, shook his head. "I was just a farmer," he said, trying to protect his family. Theodore smiled. "No," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "You were a reminder that even in the darkest of times, a single act of kindness can ripple outwards, touching countless lives and transforming a community." And so it was in Elmswood. The drought, though a time of hardship, had revealed the heart of the village, a heart that was strong, resilient, and filled with an enduring spirit of generosity.